Good morning, DDG students in 1003, Intro to Graphic Communication. Welcome to the new semester. I always like to do some video tutorials for the class to help us kind of connect the content and what's expected each week, for you to hear my voice a little bit, and for us to kind of build a rapport as we navigate through three of the foundation software applications for digital designers, graphic designers, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe InDesign. We're going to start off the class in Adobe Photoshop, which we call a raster-based software application, meaning that we will be doing some image manipulation. Images are made up of little squares of color called pixels, so we're going to spend the next about 3 weeks manipulating those little squares of color and creating some fun and interesting new solutions. We will do a few of the assignments, the follow-along assignments, in the Adobe Photoshop book, but we'll also be completing an out-of-book project to see how you apply some of the basic pixel techniques that we learned as we navigate through the first few chapters here. So when you log into Blackboard, you'll see that there is an announcements tab, a syllabus tab. Please make sure that you go in and review the syllabus, which we have attached right here to the link. There's an announcement page, and I will be sending out announcements each week. Here's actually our week 1 announcement. I'm going to replace it with this new one that I've just recorded, and I'll be sending that out to you via an email, and you will also see it on your MyHugo homepage in the new announcements section. And so we'll go right here into coursework, and we've got each of our folders set up. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate into the weeks 1 and 2 folder. We'll be tackling the first 4 chapters in your Photoshop book over the next couple of weeks. Week 1, we're going to go ahead and tackle those. Now I've grouped the first 2 weeks of assignments together, so it is fine with me if you do a couple of the chapters, let's say chapter 1 and 2 of Photoshop this week, and then do chapter 3 and 4 next week. I'm fine with that if you space it out over 2 weeks. I just want to make sure that you get them done. And then we'll tackle an out-of-book project kind of coupled with that next week. So if you just want to do the first 2 chapters in your book this week and review the syllabus, and then next week you do the chapter 3 and 4 of Photoshop, and then our out-of-book project, I'm perfectly fine with that. Let's just kind of stick with the pace and the process of the weeks as they're coupled. So no hard deadline the first week of those 2-week folders, but the second week I want you to have your assignments in. So let's go into the week 1 learning activity folder, so you can kind of see how we have the course set up. We have the little introduction. Each of your chapters, you'll see that there's a zip file attached here that has all the student files. You can also download them from the Peach Pit website with the code in the back of your book, but I've also attached all of the files for each of the assignments in the actual assignment description. So if you click on this zip file and download the files, you'll have the files for the first project in the book. Right here, these pink links in each of your folders are where you actually give me back the file that you created. So the Photoshop file you create when you're done with the chapter 1 book project, you'll click on this link right here and you'll give it back to me as a .psd file. And that flags in my gradebook, so I know you completed it, and I can go in and give you your points for the assignment. In each of our folders, I like to include a lot of extra material, just things to feed your brain if you're interested in knowing about them. So sometimes there'll be PDFs like these are. Sometimes there'll be little embedded videos like these are. And sometimes there'll be case studies. And so here you go. You'll see that I've done chapter 2, and you'll see the files are right here in the zip file folder, and a little description about what you'll cover, and the pink link to give me the PSD file you created back. So you'll see that for 2, you'll see that for project 3, with a couple of videos and some PDFs, and Chapter 4, a link, some videos, and some PDFs. Now, right down here, I have a voice thread that I've recorded, just kind of giving us a discussion forum to start interacting as a class. I'm going to go in and record a new one of those today. Today is January 12th, and that way we can share ourselves using the microphone from the computer, just to kind of introduce yourself to the class, so we get a little interaction. And I'll actually, I think I'll hold off on that one, just to see how many students end up being in this particular section. So we'll go ahead and put that one on hold for just a minute so that we can decide if we have enough. So I'll go ahead and remove that. See if we have enough for some interaction. If not, we can interact via email and voice recording. So I'll go ahead and remove that. So that's our week 1 and our week 1 folder, learning activity. Like I said, we can space the first 4 chapters of Photoshop out across 2 weeks. I just want to make sure that we cover these first 4 over the course of 2 weeks. So if you want to do chapter 1 and 2 this week, I'm perfectly fine with that. And then we'll do chapter 3 and 4 next week, along with our little mini out-of-book project. Have a great start to the semester. It's hard to believe it's January 12th and time for the semester again already, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I think you're going to really enjoy it, and you're also going to get to dabble in a little bit of design software that you may not have been exposed to before, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So have a great first week. Let's see if we can't kind of hit the ground running here. Okay, take care. Bye.